All right, Ruthless fans, we are back with the episode review for episode 6, Lost. Just like episode 5, freaking 9 out of 10. I thought it was a great episode. And yeah, like I said in my episode 5 review, I'm still not keen on the whole Tally still being at the compound, even though in terms of the timeline of the Oval, Tally should have not only escaped the compound last night, but also should have made it to Nancy's house. And at this point in the morning, shot herself in the mouth and died in the kitchen. Sorry about the noise. Look, I ordered a large lemonade for my DoorDash with Chick-fil-A. Wishing I had bought 2 sandwiches instead of 1. I wanted to get a milkshake, but they don't do special requests. I'm like, I just didn't want whipped cream, so I didn't get that. So sadly, no. But this is 2.5 pages of notes. Let's dive into it. Sarah got on my damn nerves at the gate. Don't get me wrong. We pick up where we left off. The man at the gate, I don't even believe we got the name of this person, but this is like obviously the cult member who was, at the gatekeeper at that point it was his shift to watch the gate. Sarah in the last episode, said, "Oh no, I'm lost. And my name's Melissa." But Andrew, who they saw each other, comes out and takes command, tells everyone to leave so he can. "I welcome all visitors. Thank you, my brother." Do I need to talk to the highest about your disobedience? No. So basically, he's trying to calmly and in character tell Sarah to leave. Something else of note is the fact that the gatekeeper grabbed her by the purse and emptied it out on the ground to see exactly who she was. And it looked like he did manage to grab a couple of things. And then before Sarah actually left, she took what she could off the ground. But that's the cliffhanger ending, and I will talk about that later. So basically, while Andrew is pleading with his wife in character to get her to leave, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave for your safety and my own." It's like, "Are you safe?" "Not as long as you're here. Go." And it's like, "Say my name, say my name." And he even says Sarah once, and she's like, "Say it again." Like, first of all, y'all ain't in bed. This ain't the time, even though I know you probably miss each other in bed right now. But at the same time, it's like, I wonder how she would react if she would know about Tally. It's like, "You got another hoe pregnant?" And then it's like, no. If she found out about Tally, Sarah would have went in there and whooped some ass. I don't care how many gatekeepers there were. I don't care how many guns, the earrings, and the Wait, was she wearing heels? The earrings and the shoe. Would the shoes have come off? Because I think the ground got gravel, so I don't think taking her shoes off would have been a good idea. Man, this lemonade good. That shit got me too. I'm sorry. Look, I know it's unprofessional. I usually don't eat and whatnot when I'm recording, but today was relatively good. It's Good Friday. I'm just trying to kick back. Easter weekend. Just trying to have some fun. Indoors, of course. Seriously, I'm not going out anywhere. But, let's see here. He says that he'll contact her. Okay, this part had me rolling. Okay, so Sarah seems to have gotten a glimpse of her husband and knows that he isn't fully compromised. He's just playing the role well, because this is almost like, wait, why'd you come to my job, baby? You ain't supposed to do that. So it's like, he says, "I'll call you tonight," because for obvious reasons, she's concerned, like, "Whoa, where the money at? We ain't got no money. What we gonna do?" "I will contact you. I will set up I'll arrange a conversation." "When? Tonight?" "What time?" "Ain't no clocks in here." When I tell you I fell out of my damn chair, I was like, I was done. When he said "ain't no clocks in here," I don't know why, but I was dead. Okay. Then Mr. Daikon pops out at the wrong moment. So he comes out and tries to convince Melissa to come inside. And he's like, "Hey, would you like to come to the temple?" No, I'm lost." It's like, "Why are you crying?" "I'm just tired of being lost." "Well, we can help you. We can help you be enlightened if you'd like to come in." No, I need to go." And then it's like I said, "Ma'am, all you have to do is go up the street and take a left, and you'll be back on the main road." And basically, she picks up her things off the ground, gets back in her vehicle, and drives off. And Daikon chews out Andrew. He's like, "Do you know how often we go into the suburbs trying to get women like her?" I'm sorry, Daikon, but something didn't feel right about her." And it's like, guess what? If she doesn't call, because she does get she basically gets what Lynn got, the card. It really reminds me of Willy Wonka. Like, Willy Wonka, you can lick the wallpaper and stuff. Basically gives her a tasty card with the phone number on it. And hopefully she doesn't lick it. But basically, if Sarah does not call, then Andrew is going to have to get punished for what she could have contributed to the cult. So, yeah. That ain't too good. Next, we get a pretty... These 2 episodes were full of a lot of exposition. Basically, background on certain elements and people that we haven't gotten before. Not bad. It's actually good. The only bad part was I had to keep pausing the episode because I had to write down everything was happening. I'm glad I'm not live tweeting during the show because there's too much going on. Again, not a bad thing. It's just that I really got to be at the top of my game to pay attention to what's going on. But Ruth and the elder mother are just, I guess you could say putting together flower arrangements and whatnot, watching the children play. Ruby, Callie seems to be having a good time. And the Heist is actually meditating in regards to the visitors who are coming, those devilish government sheriffs and everything. And Ruth makes the suggestion that Tally, cleans herself up and gets the kids organized in order to sing a song when the sheriff arrives. But she's warned that Tally, it's hard to say if they can trust her. And if something were to go wrong, then guess what? You and her would both be punished as a result because we can't afford any kind of incidents when the sheriff arrives. And on top of that, she tells the story about one member who actually tried to leave the cult, then go to the police and tell all these lies and bad things about the cult. And as a result, the Rackadoo punished her because she was hit by a train. Yeah, the universe did it. Sure. That didn't seem arranged at all. But I think she gets a bit fed up at the horseplay that the kids are doing. And she tells them to go away and then tells Ruth to leave as well. And then Ruth goes to talk to Andrew, basically because Ruth now sees him as an ally. And, Ruth notices, he's a bit upset and crying. And Andrew just turns her away and walks off in another direction, obviously thinking about Sarah. So, yeah, sad stuff. Really is. So Poke. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Freaking telemarketers. I'm sorry about that. So Poke, one of the deputies that works at the station that Brian is now undercover at. This is one of my favorite scenes now. He's at like this grocery store. I think he's in like the deli area. And he's trying to order the food. And the cashier, who we learned is named Dale, seems to be hitting on him not so much. Just asking questions like, hey, how are you doing? It's like, why the hell you keep asking me like that? What do you mean? Every time I come in here, you say that in the same tone. I'm fine, but I ain't like that. I'm not into people like you. And he takes a sandwich and gets on. Then one of the cult members approached him, and I think this is one of the first times we've seen any of the Rakadushi members, I guess you could say, in their normal attire. Because when Daikon brought the one boy dressed up in the robe and everything to the old couple that Tally stole the truck from, Daikon was dressed in a suit and everything, a blazer and everything. Because this kind of reminded me of when Tally was telling Nancy and Sharon in the Oval about how, hey, one of the locations is here. And Sharon's like, wait, I know that place. Isn't it the strip mall with the pharmacy I work? Okay, I threw my phone across the room and it landed in the chair. It's a straight talk phone. It's pretty durable. Don't worry. But basically, she was saying like, I never noticed any cult members there. I didn't see anybody wearing robes. Like, yeah, because we only wear the robes in like, not in everyday travel, but when it comes to us, basically once they enter into one of their secure areas, so to speak, that's when they get into their cult attire. But when it comes to like everyday going to point A to point B, they're dressed in regular clothing. So I was curious why the cult members in that store were dressed in their robes and stuff instead of a normal attire. Maybe because they're in just their neck of the woods, so to speak, so it doesn't matter, I guess. I think. I don't know if that's an inconsistency or not. But more to the point. So Manny is the male cult member who is about to, I think you could say, either order some food or he's just talking with Dale, making light conversation. And it turns out Dale is gay, and it's not said up front, but it's pretty much heavily implied because, he even asked Manny out to get some coffee or whatever, but he's like, no, I was just being friendly. I'm not into you like that. So basically, he's almost trying to recruit him into the cult in terms of, how it doesn't matter if you're different or whatnot. We pretty much teach about loving everyone. And Dale, given what we know of this kind of small town in Rockwell, Virginia, as the sheriff was telling Brian, it's like a small town. Everybody knows everyone else. So for people to be different, it's easy for them to be looked down upon. So he even tells him, like, oh, well, speaking of Poke, one of the girls you're with seems to give him his phone number and give him her phone number. And then Manny goes over there and scolds the girl and says, you're going to be punished. Like, why did you do that? Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. Please don't tell. No, you got to be punished for this. No. She was a cutie. Sad day. I only got a couple more sips of this lemonade. I'll make it somehow. But is this potentially the young woman whose face is being burned in the opening credits? I think so. But yeah, and I think a worker named Diane talks to Dale about, the cult and what's going on because of the fact that, hey, I think she's going to be punished because I overheard the scolding he gave her. And it's pretty much, Dale was trying to get some answers from Manny about what the cult does and everything just because he hears all this crazy stuff. And it's like, hey, if you can just, answer a few questions and maybe I can just, help spread the truth around that, you're nice people and you're not doing any weird stuff up there. And who knows? I think maybe we'll see Dale again. I don't know. But then we go over to Cynthia and Lynn. Cynthia comes over to the house because she didn't really like Lynn's demeanor on the phone. She just felt something was off. Long story short, they have some wine and Lynn talks about how she needs some excitement of her life. She's done with being like, she really gave me Alex from If Loving You Is Wrong vibes. Just done with the being stuck at home kind of role as a wife, and her husband careers come first while hers just, is almost like, just stay in your lane kind of thing. And she also goes into some detail about Brian's situation with the cult. And then you can also talk about how she pretty much describes her experience, what she can remember at the cult itself. But Cynthia is quick to say that it sounds like you were drugged and taken advantage of. Remember, I can't say the R word due to demonetization. But I guess you could say that Lynn didn't see it that way. And based on what was said by Cynthia, it's almost like, well, we got out of something like this before. Like, look, that was a long time ago. That's before I met Brian. So was there something that happened when they were younger where they were in a similar situation to what Lynn experienced at the Rakadushi compound involving drugs and maybe unconsensual sex? I don't know, but maybe that's something we'll find out in the near future. And she's like, look, you better see you got any STD or something like that because you don't know what those guys are carrying. No, I know he wasn't. What? How do you know? He was pure. This ain't going to turn out too good. So the elder mother goes in to check in on Tally and see if she's acting right. And basically he's like, okay, go clean yourself up. Ruth put her eldership on the line to make sure you stay in line. So if you don't, you're both going to be punished. So then Lynn calls Daikon. And actually, let's skip this scene for a bit because this there are two different parts to it. So basically, Tally is taken to Ruth by the eldest mother. And she leaves. And once again, just saying, look, you are lucky to even be here. People have been put out of the cult for much less. So Ruth and Tally try to clean themselves up and basically gather the kids to teach a song before the guests arrive. And I'm thinking to myself, how much time? What is the time? Okay, I'm not going to rant. But how far is the cult compound from the sheriff's office? Not to mention, I feel like I need to get that clip of Andrew saying, ain't no clock in here. And then I want to put that on loop because that's the perfect quote to define what's going on in this show. There ain't no clock in here. Every time that's going to be a new running gag if I can get the clip because that is within copyright fair use because it's not even 4 seconds long. Whenever I'm about to go on a rant about how the timeline doesn't make sense, I'm just going to throw that clip in there. But how is all this supposed to go down before the sheriff and Brian arrive? And to be honest, they aren't even in this damn episode. Ha! But, you know, got makeup on to cover up the bruises and whatnot. That way she looks presentable. And they go on to talk about their plan. Tally's still not sure about Andrew, but after Ruth saw Andrew earlier, she's convinced that he isn't compromised, that he is on their side. So basically, they're both going to enact a plan. Ruth is going to work things from her end with Daikon. Tally's going to work things her end with Andrew. But basically, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So going back to the conversation, Lynn calls Daikon, and once again, did you lick the card? No. Well, don't call back until you do. Then she licks it. Calls back. Did you lick it? I just realized how random that is. But yeah, give it a minute. The highest misses you. And then he tries to basically strike up a conversation, make small talk until, you know, whatever's on that card kicks in. And Lynn wants to come back to the compound right away. He will see if he can arrange for her to actually escape from her life soon as just a basic, you know, basic housewife. I mean, she's a teacher, but, you know, a more exciting life. We learned more about Daikon. He's from Philly. He was a gangbanger. He was in jail, met the highest there. He was enlightened by him. And I think we all know what that means. And apparently the highest was in jail for, and he didn't say. But if I'm not mistaken, Nancy did reveal the highest in all of his glory in the episode of The Oval about how, I forgot his name, his real name, but I know Nancy said it. Basically, he's a con artist, fraud and everything. And that's why he's been arrested a few times. He's been in jail a lot. So basically, Lynn goes on to ask more questions about like what's on the card and this and that. And, you know, basically Daikon gets a bit defensive, saying like, you're asking questions out of judgment instead of curiosity. Don't call back until you're fully ready to accept the enlightenment. And it's like, I love your voice. It's so soothing and nice. That's the power of the Rakadushi. No, that's powerful vocal cords. Trust and believe. 3 years in the call center, I got a lot of compliments on the voice, so I know the power of a milky voice and what it can do when it's applied in the right circumstances. But she's like, wait, do you have a visitor? How'd you know? Well, I didn't. I just assumed because you said you needed to leave, and I just figured that somebody else might want to be enlightened too. So basically, yeah, I was like, oh shit, did she slip up and mean Brian? Nope, she just assumed. So Malcolm, wearing a freaking suit, looking awesome, calls Sarah up about what went down, like, hey, where are you at? And then she tells him, I went to the compound. I saw Andrew there. He looked scared. Malcolm is pissed off because you could have compromised the entire operation. But, you know, look, you need to tell me everything that's going on. Malcolm says, look, go straight home. Make sure you're not being followed. I will meet you at the house in about an hour. Final scene, the gatekeeper found a tracker. I believe it was the device that was tracking Andrew's watch, and then a picture of Sarah, Andrew, and their son. And Daikon says he'll handle it. And I'm like, holy crap, we got a mystery here. And that's the end of the episode. So guys, episode 6 was fantastic. Lost. Oh yeah, that's right, because Sarah or Melissa says she was lost. Man, all I gotta say is episode 5 and 6, a lot of stuff went down. Great character backgrounds that we've gotten, different things about behind the scenes of the Rakadushi, things that are going on in regards to like the food, the drinks, how things are done and operated, what happens to those who disobey or try to betray the cult. Trains. It reminds me of the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So, sheesh. Hit by a train. I'm like, damn, what the hell happened there? I don't know. But yeah, 9 out of 10. And guys, I'm pretty sure I can come up with a couple of good discussion videos here. I think the obvious one is like, okay, what the hell is going to happen to Andrew? Like, what's going to happen with that? Also, we didn't see the highest much. We only seen him at the beginning of episode 5, and that was it. Then in this episode, we didn't see Brian or the sheriff at all. So I wonder what's going to happen when the sheriff comes. You know, are they going to try to plan their escape then, or what's going to go down? But in any case, yeah, make sure you follow me on social media. Links to all that is in the description below. You can donate to the channel on PayPal. There's a link for that in the description. Or you can hit me up on Cash App. Shout out to the patrons over on Patreon who support me for as little as $2 a month. And you can join in the fun to get content on there that I don't post on YouTube. Make sure you hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out when I post new content to the channel. Trust and believe, A lot of content is coming over the weekend, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So once again, folks, if you have not done so already, get BET Plus and watch you some Ruthless. Now is a good time to get it because guess what? You get a 7-day free trial, meaning that if you get it today or over the weekend, you'll have your free trial running by the time episode 7 comes out. And even on top of that, all 6 episodes are available for you to watch right now. Trust me, once you start episode 1, you're going to end up binging them all, which will kind of suck because that means you got to wait until Thursday when a new one drops. But either way, you get 6 episodes right now. Every episode of The Oval that's aired so far is on there, and many other great shows and movies. So guys, remember, I'm not sponsored by BET Plus. So if anybody out there is listening, help brother out. I could be a sponsor. Just saying. And with that, that's the end of this video, and that was my last sip of lemonade. So let me take a break. I'm going to edit, get both of these episode reviews up. And like I said, I'll do my Ruthless discussion videos over the weekend. Thanks so much, and be safe out there.